I'll start with just kind of like the birthing of this idea. So my name is Lumumba Barrow. At the time that we started birthing the harm-free zone, I was working with critical resistance. We had an office in Brooklyn on Atlantic Avenue, and we were doing critical resistance had at that time maybe about 12 chapters. You can fact check me on this, but the New York chapter was one of our most consistent and solid chapters. So we have been involved in a lot of these kind of high profile responses to violence in our communities. We were working with people who were in prison, people who were directly out of prison, and people who were, like I said, harmed by the state directly, like direct violence. So we had a dinner for them. People on parole come in, talk about how you get involved in the work, got them out by around 7, 8, and then around 9, 10, we started this party. But the party got raided by the Brooklyn PD. And they came in and they tear gassed like all our people. They beat up our people. And then they arrested 7 of our people, right? And wow. So our people got locked up. Well, what are the charges? The police there was the flyer. Well, we were told it was a flyer. And so on the flyer, it was a picture of a person, a woman, I think, with a keffiyeh on and her fist up. And the flyer said, "Fight for your right to party." Fight for your right for freedom or something like that. And taken from that song. And so that's what brought the undercover, and then that's what brought the whole 75th precinct to our offices. And it ended up, like I said, with 7 people getting locked up for a couple days. And at that point, and harmed. And at that point, we organized immediately, did a press conference, et cetera, started meeting, opened the office doors 24/7, had a large community of folks coming through. And then we decided around that time that we needed to have a response to the 75th precinct. And so our plan was to shut down the precinct. So that was like the birth of the idea of the harm-free zone. And then we engaged in a series of, activities to try to see if we could get community support for shutting down this precinct, right? So we went to schools, we did door knocking, we went to schools in the neighborhood, we went to businesses in the neighborhood, we did door knocking, we got in some interns, did a lot of kind of investigative work to see went to lots of community meetings, how do people feel about the 75th? Mm-hmm. And for the most part, people were down with it. Yeah, people say, "Oh yeah, that would be great." But when it came to actually doing the work to stop that, we kept meeting, coming up against walls. So then we pulled back again and started looking for another strategy to shut down the 75th, right? And at that point, we became, in that process, in that season plus time when we were doing all this polling and investigating and thinking about how to shut down the 75th precinct, we weren't really looking as much at like, okay, what would a harm-free zone require? Like our whole focus was shut it down,
Right.
not like build up this other thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So our emphasis was misdirected. So we had a lot of support, cultural support, but not the political support to actually follow through on, you know, shutting down a precinct. So that required us to go back again and take a look at what our, you know, overarching thinking was.